Robin.
Getting ready for the Ace Frehley interview. Ace got a new book out, huh?
Yes.
No regret.
It's great, dude.
You're loving it, Jimmy?
I'm very biased because I love Kiss and I love Sabbath, so I'm promoting these books, but it's actually a fucking great book.
Must be, dude. You've blown right through them. When did they give you that book?
A couple weeks ago, but I just got distracted at one point and I didn't read for like 5 days, so it's like I should have been finished with these already, but I didn't.
That's okay. Don't beat yourself up.
No, I'm not, but I kind of wish I was done.
You read enough of them.
I know, I have a few pages left.
How many questions you got for Ace? How many pages of questions?
About 3. But again, I won't get in small font, but I had 4 for Tony.
Let me say, the small font. Wow.
But I won't get to all these. And I'm interviewing for the Boneyard, too, so it's like you want to...
Wow, very
See,
good.
Jimmy has become a great interviewers. They read the book. They're prepared with their questions.
I think I'm a self-indulgent, boring interviewer. Like I really believe that. I'm not saying that to fish for. I really do. Like, ugh.
Self-indulgent?
Yeah, meaning like I don't get good information. Like some guys can get information out of people, which is it's an art to do that.
Let's waterboard them. Get some fun.
Dude, you could be more self-indulgent than me asking Tony Iommi about John Bonham's bass drum technique. Like, how many people...
That was a moment, though, Bill. We like that one.
I got one email from that, like, dude, I was on the edge of my seat when you asked. And like you, I was disappointed when he didn't know. Out of all the stupid fucking questions.
No, you were good in that interview. You asked him good questions. I mean, and he likes talking about Bonham. It was one of his best friends. So you fucking love Bonham. It was good.
I like how he didn't pull any punches, too. Like, you would think because of the way Bonham passed that he wouldn't bring up the drinking. He just said, oh, yeah, he ordered 12 bottles of champagne. He drank all of them, and he was paralytic.
Paralytic. Is
that even a word?
Yeah, you read the
Now
book,
is.
they're blimey, a lot of blimies and bloody hell.
Blimey.
Blimey.
You would know these are real words, Jimmy, if you went to Europe.
I know, you're probably right. That's why I'm very ignorant.
That's why you should go to
I
Europe.
kept saying blimmy.
What if Ozzy said, I want to bring you over to Europe so these people could see your comedy?
Thanks, Oz. Let's go.
Right.
I'm not that set against it. What if a girl wanted to blow you in Europe? I'm on my way.
Jim, it would happen. I'm telling you, instantly. Mysterious. Tell me about in New Jersey?
Yeah, exactly. It was just something like I just never wanted to do. I really didn't. Like, and this is years ago that was offered. Do you want to go over to England? I was like,
Fuck, I'd go in a second.
I know a lot of people would.
Let's go as a show.
Even Brazil, I wouldn't go back to. It was fun to go because I went with my friends, and but I just like being in foreign countries. Montreal, I go to only for the money. I don't hate them. I don't hate them. I just found it was an average city, nice people.
Montreal's barely a foreign country, though.
But you know what I'm saying? It was like,
oh, it's affordable France. It's awesome, beautiful women.
But did you go to the church?
No, I go to the. They got that big park there. You run the stairs and you look out at this beautiful city.
Yeah. It's like a Rocky moment.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Some people love the show.
I have no... Oh, you want to see something weird? Look up the Angry Baby Oslo.
Could you do that?
If anybody can look that up.
Because we're waiting for Ace Frehley.
Yeah.
Sam Roberts.
This could be good.
They have this guy made all these statues about going through all the different phases in life. You should see, there's one guy, he's like kicking babies and everybody's naked.
What? What? You got to put something else in. The Angry Baby, what?
Oslo.
Oh, boy.
OSLOW, Sam.
No.
Where's it O?
OSLO.
Okay.
You forgot the E.
Yeah.
Potato, remember?
Let's see if they got a pic. There it is. This is one.
That's a stat. It's like a stomping mad baby.
Yeah,
that's
great.
A dumbass statue.
I've never been so fucking immature as I walk through that park. I forget the name of the park, but they have all these. They got everybody's naked. It's all these different phases of life. I guess there's one naked guy like in this square, like he's fighting against his destiny. But then there's other ones, just a naked guy grabbing a woman and running away with her, basically, and she clearly looks like she doesn't want to be with him. So,
really? So it's like rape.
The rape phase.
The rape phase of everyone's
There's
life.
another one where he's like, this guy. I guess the pressure of being in a family is the only way I could think of it. He's got like 3 babies, and they sort of look like they're swooping down on him. They're all naked, and then he's got one he's kicking. And the baby's the funny. He's got his arms up like a boxer, like he's protecting his
trying
head.
to defend himself. Keep your guard up, kid.
So I went through that whole park. I'm big in the parks. I go into the parks.
Yeah. You go. Yeah. You kind of explore.
Yeah, it was
want to stay in
interesting.
your
They
room,
had
huh?
tennis courts, clay courts.
Yeah.
I'm like, hey, look at that, Roland Garros. It's fucking hilarious. Yeah, no, I don't understand why you would fly that far away and then just sit in
And
your
then
hotel room and be like, yeah, can I get the cheeseburger medium rare, please?
Yeah.
French fries. Anybody can get ketchup instead of the mayo?
Try to watch TV, watch American TV, so you forget you're even over there.
I know.
What was the first city that got boring to you? Where you go, like you said, you travel and do the walk.
No, you know what?
Well, what city you're like, all right, I've seen everything I could possibly see.
No
and done.
No city over there has gotten boring.
No, I mean in general. Maybe there's one in the States. Because you do this with cities in the States as well.
Let's see here. Nashville can get a
Really?
little boring just because I never get a car when I'm there, and anything that's cool that's going on and musically is going to be happening when I have shows.
Oh, yeah.
And so when you're not in just downtown Nashville, you just sort of, it's just very like Dallas can get boring.
Yeah.
Dallas is just strip mall. Excuse me, hiccup, strip mall. I got all choked up about how much I didn't like Dallas.
How many times are you on the road that you just want to go into a fucking mall? Like in Houston, you stay by the Galleria. There's just nothing to do in some cities. I don't like to do much.
Yeah.
I wish I did, but I just did.
Houston actually has a mall that has an ice rink in it, which is hilarious because it's an ice rink. You're right near the food court. Everybody's shoving this shit in their mouth. A lot of fat people down there.
Yeah.
And then it's Houston, so a lot of people don't know how to skate. I remember standing there watching this Asian dude, and we were filming him. Somewhere I have the film, laughing our fucking asses off at this guy, and then he did like the thing, where you're starting to fall backwards and your legs are moving like the roses in the bed. Dude, and he fell and he cracked his head on the ice and wasn't moving.
Holy shit.
No, it wasn't funny. And immediately stopped being funny. It was just like, all right, dude, come on, man.
That was
Get up.
tragic, yeah.
Get up, man. Get up.
Come on,
Please get up, please.
Don't make me have had laughed at you.
I don't want a nightmare over you.
I don't do a lot of shit. I do more just like sporting events. I go to sporting events. That's how I book the road.
Oh, really?
Especially if it's a city I fucking don't want to go to. It's just like, are the Royals in town? What's going on?
You watch the whole game, or you just go for a few minutes or an hour or whatever?
No. I always go for the whole game. When I used to do college gigs by myself, just so I was the guy who kept score. I would do that. No, because you felt like because I was clearly by myself. It's almost like, when you start looking at your cell phone and nobody's calling you. That's the baseball version, is you just sit there by yourself, like keeping score.
Doing the stats.
Yeah.
There's another K.
I stopped short of having the AM radio with the antenna up.
Radio hat.
Radio hat.
But no, man, I went to
I never got that where people like wrote down the
keep the
stats.
score.
Like, what
I
do
never
you do
got
with
that
it?
either.
What do you do with it?
No, because you're able to follow the game way more because you know what the guy did the last time. You can tell basically how many times people have gotten up. You can get way more of a feel for the game as opposed to just being hammered, yelling at colors.
Well, yeah.
Hey, he's got the other team. Fuck you.
Oh, colors.
You know what the? Oh, you're an idiot.
I knew
Dude, you know what the best one though, the best fan out there, I think, is. Do you guys ever see that guy who goes to the Devil Ray games? At the Devil Ray games, there's a guy down there, and each game he picks one guy to heckle on the other team. And I talked to a guy in the Giants about this. You just think, oh God, please don't pick me. Please don't. I noticed one time when Johnny Damon was still on the Red Sox, every time, like, he wouldn't say shit. Ortiz comes up, doesn't say anything. Whoever the hell else was on the team at the time, Manny doesn't say anything, and all of a sudden, Damon comes up and he goes, "Ah, Johnny! Let's go, Johnny! Woo! Johnny Damon!" He just yells his name.
What a great
as
strategy.
loud as you dude, I'm sitting at home hearing every word of it. And that's what makes it so unsettling.
That's hilarious.
There's that tension as you walk up, like, is it going to be me? Is he going to pick me?
Yeah.
And his teammates are all laughing.
That it's them. Yeah,
because
not
it's
them,
him,
yeah.
and you don't have to deal with it when you get up there. And when you making out and you come back and it's like, that motherfucker picked me tonight. You picked me. That's one of the most unique things.
That's great.
I am picking one guy, and I am going to heckle the shit out of him.
Think of that.
And how do they notice though? Because so many people yelling so many names. Is just his voice is that loud?
No, he sits right down near home plate, and it's Tropicana Field, which is like sitting in a
What
food
a
court.
prick.
No, dude, that guy is
classic.
fucking hilarious. And the genius of it is you actually separate him from his team because his teammates are now laughing. It's a classic divide and conquer.
Ace Frehley is not here.
What is the
Even though
scoop?
Roland goes, he's
Sam,
5 minutes out.
5 minutes out. We heard that about 10 minutes ago.
The publicist has checked in. Ace has yet.
Well, what about him?
Ace has yet to check in downstairs.
I'm sitting here telling old road stories.
No, I like it.
Then I went to Mile High Stadium,
I
and
like
that
it.
was.
I like it.
I'm sure he'll be here.
Oh,
Why did
boy.
Roland say he's 5? Maybe that's what the publicist told him.
I'm sure.
What happens?
But he said that
Let's
last
just
time.
say, what happens if Ace doesn't show up today?
Then he doesn't come.
Oh, boy.
I like Ace. I would love him to. I actually love Ace. But
Yeah.
if he doesn't come, he doesn't come.
Oh, okay.
What are you gonna do?
I
I'll
just
finish
didn't
the
want to.
book.
I just didn't want to.
What if he shows up at 10:01?
What if?
I'll
What
start
if,
on the boneyard.
what if Ace said, "Jimmy, meet me in Europe," and you went to Europe and you didn't show up, and he left you there? Would you still listen to Kiss music?
On the flight home, laughing to myself at the good-natured joke he played on me.
say the ribbing. that you got.
That Ace got me good.
You hear about Mark Burnell? You're a sports fan. The Jets' backup quarterback?
No.
They're saying when he retires, he's, 40, 41? He's got to get a 9-to-5 job. He blew all his fucking money
Holy
with bad
shit.
investments.
Oh,
This just
man.
came out today.
Some Bernie Madoff shit.
They're saying as soon as he's not in the NFL anymore, he's got to start a 9-to-5 job immediately.
Wow.
He's like $27 million in the hole, right? Did you
Yeah,
see?
24.7 million he owes.
How about you fucking just declare bankruptcy at
He's
that
on the-
point? Jesus.
He's on the hook for
'Cause then we gotta pay for it.
$24.7 million.
Well, yeah,
And
well,
they pass it on to us.
I would.
As soon as he retires, he's got to get a job.
Wow. You think he's going to get a 9-to-5 and be able to pay that off?
Dude, that's like that one guy in the Jets who has like 9 kids
No.
with 8 different
Oh,
women.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, dude, do you understand the second you stop playing, you're broke?
You're done. Yeah.
Right.
All your money's gone.
Yeah, I would sit down with all those women and be like, okay, here's the deal. We can live like rock stars for 8 years and then go right back to eating at the ground round
Right.
and Chuck E. Cheese, or we can live decently forever. What is your choice?
He had 8 kids with like 8 different women.
7
Do you
different
thi-
women
do
or
you, Do you
something?
think he honestly is going to be rational
Do you think
enough
that would be
to-
a rational roundtable discussion?
I know, right?
No, I'm trying to figure out if I was managing him. I'd bring
Yeah.
all those
What?
in the raw women.
What happened?
What, Ron? He's 5 minutes away?
Where is he right now? I want to know.
5 minutes means 10 minutes. You know that. At least 10, maybe 15.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As soon as he comes on.
Oh, Christ.
All right,
What
listen.
happened? What happened?
I know.
He's a rock star, man. He's on his time. It's all good.
Oh, come on, man. You can't expect rock
Back to
stars
Burnell.
to always show up.
Because of his
That ruins it.
financial misfortunes, he's got a job lined up as a medical sales representative.
Oof.
Oh, no. Like the guy that goes around selling fucking catheters and shit?
Yeah, well, he did declare bankruptcy, but he's got to get a gig to just.
Now, how did he
live.
lose it? Was he buying jet skis? Like, what's his face? Or
Horrible. He went with a company that invested in high-end real estate properties just when the market fucking took a dive. And he was invested in Whataburger, a fast food franchise.
What?
A Whataburger fast food franchise.
Exactly.
What a ripoff!
What?
What a mistake!
Holy shit! Here's Ace Frehley.
Oh, there we go.
Hey, see, Jimmy?
Yeah.
I'm going
Here's
to give
Ace.
Scarlett Johansson's fucking ass.
Oh, my God. Where is that picture? Yeah, I saw it really quick the other day.
Can I see that too?
Can I see it? I want to see it.
Fuck.
I'm in third.
Ace. What's up, Ace?
What's going on?
Are we live?
Ace.
Yeah, we're on.
Really?
We are.
Of course.
Huh? That's the Angry
That's
Baby
Angry
in
Baby.
Oslo.
You ever been to Oslo? Yeah.
Absolutely. He's probably
When's the
sold
last
it
time I
out
was there?
9
years.
million times.
Doing
Yeah.
Anomaly?
Yeah.
Anomaly? All right.
Now promote the book.
Been a couple years, right?
Yeah. Things haven't changed
there you go.
much.
No. Believe me. Same shit.
Yeah.
For Jimmy's birthday, we had you in.
Oh, that's right.
To surprise Jimmy.
Yeah, you brought me a cake with, it was a girl's ass with a log of shit coming out of it.
You know, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was slightly obscene.
Yeah, it was
Are
great.
we there right now?
We
Yeah,
are,
yeah,
yeah.
That's how
Okay.
we are. That's how we
That's all
roll. We got to get that montage together of people that
absolutely
just
have to.
every guest that has said
We
that
don't
to
know
us.
if that's good or bad when
Hey, we're
guests
not-
ask that.
Is this live right now?
Yeah.
Are we on the air?
Do you guys consider this entertaining?
It's basically
Oh,
what they're
man.
saying.
real professional?
Me? Yeah.
Do you have, what kind of information do you have there?
Oh, well, right now on Amazon, the book, it's #1 in biographies for composers and musicians. It's already #1 in entertainment music, and it's #4 in books, biographies, and entertainers. And it's in the top 100, and it just came out yesterday.
Tuesday,
There you
yeah.
go.
It's
Go
great.
figure.
I'm almost finished with it. I'm probably got like 20 pages left. It's fucking. You did a great job, man.
Thanks.
It's this is something I wanted to ask you. The opening line of the book. You right. When I was a kid, I used to carry this awful image around in my head. A picture of three men tangled awkwardly in high tension wire, 50 feet in the air, their lifeless bodies crisping in the midday sun. Why?
Well, you know, my dad helped build the installation, the electrical installation for West Point. And, oh, you didn't read the book then?
No, I got to the opening line and I just got bored and I closed it. No, that wasn't. I just, I don't want to just say it because then if I just say it.
Yeah, my dad was working with other guys installing the new electrical installation at West Point. He drew a short straw to go get the sandwiches. He came back and his buddies, got electrocuted because somebody inadvertently had flipped the switch.
So basically, if he had not drawn the short
crispy
straw,
critters,
Yeah.
It's terrible.
So if he hadn't done that, literally he might have been up there and you would have been no you.
If he wouldn't have drawn the short straw, I would have been a bright idea, I guess, only.
Wow.
Are you doing book signings or no?
Yeah, I'm doing one at Barnes & Noble here in town tomorrow.
What did you?
He's just like,
whatever. I'm on the book signing at noon.
What is your relationship now with like Gene and Paul? Because I think you were pretty fair in the book. Like you slam a little bit, but not. It doesn't seem bitter. It seems like it's a pretty honest assessment of what happened.
Well, there's good and bad in every relationship, just like a marriage. So, I mean, I had lunch with Gene about 4 or 5 weeks ago.
Did you pay?
Hotel. We just hung out and reminisced. Did you see what he said about me on page 6 the other day?
I heard
New York
audio.
Post.
Is that the audio where he said that you were saluting him like Hitler? I just heard that. I don't know if that's that old audio or is that new?
No, I was on page 6 the other day in the New York Post, and whoever wrote the article was quoting parts of the book where I'm talking about Gene and giving everybody crabs.
Yeah.
This, that, and the other thing. And then they got a statement from Gene. Nobody has it here?
Where is that?
We're not a prepared radio show.
He said something to the effect.
Sam will find it. Brilliant.
Ace has been an alcoholic and a drug addict for 35 years, but we love him,
Oh, yeah. Didn't he say there's decades of your life that you don't remember or something?
Yeah, probably. That's why I needed help on the book. But the 35 years is incorrect. It's incorrect. It's a false statement. I've been an alcoholic for at least 40 years. And, proud of it. But recovering at this juncture,
So you
5
sober?
years plus.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I celebrated 5 years on September 15th.
Oh, that's great. Any urges at
that's
all?
good.
Any urges at all? Because
Any urges?
Occasionally I get
the first
them.
couple of years are the hardest, and then subsequently every year after that gets easier and easier. Now, people drink in front of me doesn't even bother me.
Do you have any vices?
Any
now?
vices?
Yeah.
Well, I grew up most of my life with sex, drugs, and rock and roll. So you take away the drugs, you still have rock and roll and sex.
Yeah.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, right? Like Meatloaf said.
There's quite a few fucking near misses in this book too.
Fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
Electrocutions, human sacrifices.
No, with drugs. Like there's a couple of times where you, the one I just read was really interesting. You were flying into a foreign country and you had an 8-ball in your sneaker.
No.
And it seems like you got these really weird premonitions at times when shit was about to go really bad for you.
Oh.
And what happened on the plane? That you just felt something might be wrong when you landed?
I just had a premonition, man. I was going to get popped, if I landed with that stuff on my body. So I went into the laboratory and flushed it down the toilet, which became a little bit of a problem.
We needed that, Ace.
Oh yeah, good fellas.
Man. I'm struggling with my addiction, and should I do it? Should I not do it? What's worse, going to jail or getting high for a weekend?
Right.
But,
You didn't do a little bit of it and then flush the rest of it?
No. I was already so wired just from the dream and the premonition. I had like a nightmare on the plane. I was just happy to get rid of it and get back to my seat before.
Oh, is that what sparked
the plane was about to land.
That's got to be the most paranoid feeling you could have, to be flying on a plane to another country high out of your mind with drugs on you.
Yeah.
How do you hold that together?
More importantly, did they check you when you got off the plane?
Well, when I got off the plane,
So
one of those drug-sniffing dogs actually...
So the
I caught his
premonition was
attention,
true.
And they examined my shoes and everything. And then I started panicking. Man, was there a
Holy
second one in there
shit.
somewhere, hidden, that I had forgotten about? But
Wow.
Sure muled it up your ass.
Yeah, I never went that. I never went that far.
That's how I smuggle fruits and stuff into.
Exactly.
Yeah, at some point you got to be like, all right, you got me.
Yeah. You can't bring fruits and vegetables across
Yeah, I know.
international
well,
I was
waters.
thinking something else.
But I can.
I thought it was double entendre stuff.
Did it? When you talk a lot about the drug use too, and when you were in Kiss, like how people would have thought that Gene and Paul were drinkers back in those days. You would have had no idea that there was such a difference between you and Peter and Gene and Paul. How far into Kiss did that start to become like an issue or talked about or some sort of a point of strain?
Me and Peter both started spinning out of control. You know, once we all became millionaires, you know, too much too soon. You know, like so many other rock stars, you know, in history. But, you know, I mean, I'm just lucky that, I mean, every day above ground, you know, I'm happy for, you know, because by all rights, I shouldn't even be here.
What's the craziest thing you went out and bought when you were at the height? You had all that money.
Craziest thing
That you look back now and go, what the fuck? Really? Why did I do that?
I mean, I was buying. You know what I used to do? When I was a kid growing up in the Bronx. I never, you know, my parents were like middle class, but we couldn't afford, you know, expensive toys and gadgets. So I would always go to hobby shops and buy the most expensive radio controlled helicopter, the most expensive radio controlled boat.
I hear you.
And airplanes and also, you know, I mean, spent thousands.
Put
thousands
8 balls
of
in them
on
and
that stuff
pretend you're
because I
flying
could
into
never have
another
that when I was a
country.
kid. You know, and most of them are just sitting in my storeroom. You know.
So just weird like shit that you would have wanted as a child, you bought as an adult.
Stuff I never could have that I wanted, you know. Hey, now I can get it, you know. And, of course, a lot of sports cars and, you know, some clothes and...
Did you trash a few cars due to maybe
several, yeah.
drinking?
I mean,
And
God, my DeLorean, I cracked up a 928 Porsche.
Did the DeLorean come with cocaine with it?
That was such a cool car. I remember I used to go pick up my daughter at preschool, you know, and all the kids would come running out to meet the car. The spaceship is here, you know.
spaceship.
Yeah, 'cause, you know, the gull-wing doors and, you know.
Maybe it was because of the driver.
And the funny thing about that car, that's the only car you don't wax with, like, car wax. You use
stainless steel.
wool polish.
Yeah, it's like
You know, stainless steel polish. It was nuts.
So I was also enjoying reading the Phantom of the Park story and how much that you thought it was like a goof and how Gene was like genuinely embarrassed by that because he thought it was gonna be like a legit
Well, yeah,
Holy
horror
shit!
film.
Really?
The whole movie to me was kind of a goof, but the whole Kiss phenomena was a goof. I never took it that seriously. You know, Gene always took everything so goddamn seriously because he wasn't loaded, and you know he was always thinking about money and this and that, and what else can we merchandise, and that completely went off the charts, and he completely went out of control. You see, once Kiss got really big, Gene started, in conjunction with our management, started, over merchandising the band to the point where, little kids were showing up at the show, and I talk about it in the book.
Yeah.
And, all of a sudden, my road manager's going, hey, Ace, cool it with the F words tonight because there's a lot of little kids in the front row, that's not what rock and roll's all about.
Yeah, and you felt, I know you talked a lot about how you felt the merchandising went way too far. What was the first thing you saw that you were like, because like T-shirts, there was some publicity stunts where the mayor would wear makeup, like that stuff was made sense. But what was the first thing you saw that you were like, ugh, what the fuck?
Well, the dolls were kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
action figures.
The commercials showed them little kids with them. And, the lunch boxes, but who walks around with a lunch box except a little kid?
I did.
I mean, I've seen a lot of grown men running around with kids' lunch boxes. But it just got completely out of control. And
it annoyed you?
Anything that's been produced, merchandise-wise, there's usually a Kiss stamp on it. I mean, it's crazy.
Do you think that, you stress in the book a lot about how you felt that the music really took a back seat always to the money and to the merchandising and to the show. And how long into it did that start to bother you? Like, I think the music is suffering.
Well, I can't tell you how many times the following day after a concert, I'd look up a review in the local paper and would talk about the show more than the music. The music did take a second,
Just
was
the
second
stage?
in a lot of people's minds because the show was so elaborate, but for me, I love the show and I love coming up with, I'm the wizard when it comes to guitar effects, the smoking guitar, the rocket guitar, the light guitar, you name it, I've done it. But it should never, come before the music. To me, the music was always the most important thing,
And the fact that it was choreographed, I was surprised too that you. It bored you. You said after a while because of all the fire and the flash pots and all that, you couldn't move around on the stage.
Look, I just did 2 nights at BB King's, and we switched a few things around. Couldn't do that in a Kiss show. Everything had to go, because everybody, the pyro guy's got a board and he's got the song list. And if we do a different song and he presses the button, somebody's going to get blown up. It was that crazy. It was like a Broadway show.
That's fucking
Broadway
scary.
rock
You had to
show.
count on that guy.
I mean, we brought in our own elaborate stage, and we brought in our own lights. We brought in our own pyrotechnics, and we had seven tractor trailers at one point.
Wow.
Wait, that happened to Hetfield at one time when he,
Oh, yeah.
he was
Yeah,
playing
burnt his
guitar,
hand.
and that whole thing came up, burned up his hand.
Yeah, I got electrocuted on stage in 1976 in Lakeland, Florida. I was just talking to the interviewer I was with last night over at VH1, and he said there is some type of video footage of me getting electrocuted, but they're still trying to get a hold of it.
How did you get
what's the
electrocuted?
story?
Yeah.
Well, it was before wireless transmitters. So I don't know if you remember the set we used to have where it was like 5 marshals, 25 feet high, and we'd come down a staircase. Well, here I am in platform shoes, so I always have to hold on to the railing. I grabbed the railing, and I wasn't grounded properly, and I got zapped with 220 volts.
Holy shit.
Now, the only thing that saved my life was I got thrown back onto the platform. If I would have gone forward, I would have probably smashed, cracked my head open.
How long before people didn't realize that wasn't part of the show? You know what I mean? Because you guys got so many things, when you get zapped.
It took a while
and
for
get
the guys
thrown
in the
back.
band to realize I wasn't even there, because everybody's doing their own thing, Gene's preoccupied with sticking his tongue out at the girl in the front row, and Paul's dancing around, and flipping it, And finally they go, they look around and going, "Where's Ace?" And so they had to stop the show, and then I had burns on my fingers. I was actually knocked out for several seconds.
I was going to say, were you? How soon did you come to?
Damn.
I think I was. I took about a 5-minute break, and then, my manager Bill O'Connor was there. And he says, "Ace, you got to get back out there." And all of a sudden, the fans and the whole venue started chanting, "We want Ace, we want Ace." So my adrenaline started pumping, brought me back to life. And
So
I
you
finished
just
the show.
shook off being electrocuted. That's unbelievable.
Well, I fell the other night at BB King's, because there was no luminous tape on the edge of the stage. I'm doing my smoking
Oh,
pot solo.
shit.
I'm going like this. I'm walking to the
You
right.
fell off
my
the
right
side
foot goes into the hole where the monitor board is. And I thought I broke my leg. Then I looked at my guitar after the show. I had snapped off the Tune-O-Matic bridge. And what had happened, the guitar took the brunt of the fall.
Jesus.
If the guitar wouldn't have done it, I would have broke my leg. And I don't know what.
Did you keep playing or did you stop the solo?
No, I jumped back up and switched guitars and finished the solo.
Is that embarrassing when that happens? I've never fallen on stage.
I've fallen a lot with Kiss, but it was like on the stage, not off. I've never fallen off the stage. That was the first time. It was a little scary.
Why would you fall on the stage? Were you ever under the influence?
I used to fall all the time with those boots.
Fall off his shoes.
I could have. Paul and Gene are pretty good with those. I was never good with them.
What's the most you fell in one show? And did you start getting mad? These
I
motherfuckers
don't
with
think
these
I've
boots.
fallen more than twice in one show, but that's enough.
Yeah, that would be. Did it cause resentment with the other members who came up with the idea for the boots?
They got used to it. In fact, if I would fall, they would try to make it look like it was part of the show, and they'd like come over to me and play to me until I, managed to get back
awesome.
up.
Oh man, got to keep the rock and roll going.
In those days, we all covered each other. It's not like every man for himself. Towards the end.
What's the craziest thing you ever saw looking out into the crowd? All your Maniac fans that even you for half a second had to step back like, am I really looking at that shit?
It was a lot of crazy shit. I remember the last reunion tour. Some Oriental broad was following us around. She'd pull off her panties and write on them, "Fuck me, Ace," and hold them up. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Did you fuck her?
Yeah, did you make her dreams
Did you
come
fuck her?
true?
No.
Was she attractive?
She wasn't bad looking.
If she was hotter, would you have fucked her?
Huh?
Would you have fucked her if she was more attractive?
Nah, I'm kind of past that these days.
Oh, was that recently that happened?
That was in the Kiss Reunion tour, probably around 2000.
How long did it take you to get that out of your system? Where if somebody held up panties and said, "Fuck me, Ace," that you didn't give in to that temptation? How many decades?
A lot of the insanity with women kind of went along with the drinking and the drugging, and once I got away from that, I got away from the
groupie thing,
the insane behavior. But yeah, I also vividly remember, in the 70s, we used to get shots of penicillin like once a month because the worst thing you could get was like syphilis or something or gonorrhea, But I mean, I remember when the AIDS scare came in and we all kind of were a lot more cautious, except for Gene.
Oh, yeah. He just kept fucking?
Oh, well, Gene, anything, Gene has two prerequisites for a woman, alive and breathing. It's just like... So,
What was the crab story? Because you guys all got crabs? Because I've had them 3 times. I got them twice from the same girl, and then once I think a girlfriend cheated and gave them to me. They're fucking horrible.
Well, in the old days, Sean Delaney used to pack our leather jumpsuits in one trunk, throw it in the truck, and move on to the next show.
Oh God!
Gene was infested with them, and the little buggers jumped from one costume to the other. Next thing you know, all 4 of us are scratching. And everybody goes, Gene. But we kind of laughed it off in those
crabs.
days.
You ever have them on stage?
Did you guys have the shaved pube show after that?
I'm trying to remember the name of that stuff we had to apply.
Rid was what I used.
yeah.
R-I-D, yeah.
Oh God, it was that little comb.
Yeah, it was terrible. I have straight pubes, like a Chinese person's hair. I have awful pubes. So I finally shaved them completely now, but it was fucking terrible. It's a violating feeling when I had an itch and then you look down and you pull this black thing out and you see leg. It's fucking terrible.
It's creepy.
Yeah.
And then you gotta boil all your sheets and it's crazy.
How many times did you have them? Would you have more than once?
I may have had him twice in my life, but Gene was pretty much infested for several years during that period. On and off. I love it. He had infestation.
He should have been condemned
by the Board of Health. They should have put a sign on a quarantine on his door.
Are you happy he's married?
Am I happy? Yeah. When I had lunch with him, I was saying, Gene's going, hey, I'm going to tie the knot. I said, it's about time, Gene. And, Shannon's a great lady. And, she stayed with him all these years and gave him 2 beautiful children, I think he did the right thing.
When you left, it was, you just really wanted out. I was surprised to read that. I thought, for some reason, they asked you to leave. I didn't realize that Peter had already left and you they almost begged you to stay in the band and you just didn't want to anymore.
They both asked me to stay, But between all the drugs I was doing, I was living in isolation in this big mansion in Connecticut with a recording studio, and in my mind, if I didn't get away from the band, I was going to die, and it was a tape that kept playing over and over in my head. I'm sitting in my lawyer's office, and I'm going, I got to leave the band. I'm going to die. I'm going to kill myself. And he's going, yeah, but it's $15 million, Ace. Buys a lot of therapy. I said, therapy doesn't work when you're 6 feet under. I don't want a dirt nap. And
so you guys had made a lot of money, but then you had this other contract where it was going to be $15 million apiece, and you knowingly just said, I can't do it.
It's a $15 million record contract for the 4 of us, and I ended up walking out, and it was actually cut in half because of me. I don't think they ever forgave me for that.
Gene
they lost
like
$7.5 million.
Oh, I bet Gene wasn't
in the 70s. You know how much money that is?
Fuck yeah, that's a lot of money.
Sorry, guys.
Why did Peter leave?
Peter was fired.
Yeah. What was
Peter?
ultimately?
Peter ran into the same problems I did eventually. With abuse, and he had a car accident, and it affected his playing. And,
were you there when he got fired? Did you guys all sit down, or was it a?
Well, I actually didn't want Peter fired. I figured, let's put him in the hospital and get him cleaned up and give him another chance. But Paul and Gene were pretty adamant that, they didn't want to give him another chance and they just wanted to move on. So I was pretty much outvoted, so I had to go along with it.
How's he doing now?
Peter's doing okay. I spoke to him not that long ago. I saw him at Bill O'Coin's funeral down in Florida. And he's hanging in there. I heard he's working on a book also.
Is he still partying?
Is he still performing?
No, partying. Is he still partying, or is he?
I don't think so. I don't think so.
Got his shit together. Good.
Yeah, I always found it interesting because it's like you guys put out so much material in the first few years of your existence. Most bands put out an album a couple years later, and you pumped out, what was it, how many albums in the first 18 months? Up to
4
Alive?
albums.
Wow. 4 albums,
That
3
does
studio.
not happen anymore.
Yeah,
No.
I'm sitting with my ghostwriter, and he's giving me these statistics because he did his homework. You know, there's so many people know more about Kiss than I do because I lived there, but I forget the numbers and the dates. He says, "Man, you did 4 albums in 18 months, and between those albums, you're touring extensively." He goes, "That must have been insane." It was. It was just like this roller coaster ride that never ended.
Well, your first 3 records, too, they weren't selling. I mean, they were okay, but you said Casablanca almost went broke because you guys just weren't selling records until Alive.
Yeah. We came out with Kiss, then we came out with Hotter Than Hell, and then we came out with Dress to Kill. And after Dress to Kill, things were shaky. I know Bill Burr had extended himself, and Neil Bogart had, put a lot of their own personal money into the band. And if Alive wouldn't have taken off like it did and become, a huge record, who knows what would have happened.
Why do you think bands take so long today to, we had Tony Iommi recently, and he talked about Black Sabbath, the record. That took, I think, 2 days in the studio or 1 day. And I know your first album especially didn't take. Why do bands obsessively take a year now, whereas back then you could do it in a week or 2 months or whatever?
I don't know. It has a lot to do with the producer. Sometimes, in the old days, the band used to get together and just knock it out. Now you get the producers that bring in there and go, okay, we'll do your part today, and then tomorrow we have Johnny in the studio, and then we have Bubby in the studio because they're making more money. They're getting a piece of the studio, they're charging a larger fee, and we did it old school back in those days.
Spend 4 days getting a snare drum sound.
Yeah, man. I remember walking in the studio like 9 o'clock in the morning, and we're still working on drums. Days. Come back after lunch. Trying to get the perfect drum sound on it. Get every ring out of every.
Nothing worse
skin.
than sitting there and just listening to the.
Yeah.
Nah, oh God, shut up. Nothing worse than a drum check.
Now everything's canned. You can get samples and perfect drum sound. A lot of people today when they record an album with drums, they end up replacing the drums with sampled sounds. They just trigger them.
I'm not sure about this, but I bet in the old days too, you could just write some songs, throw them on an album, put the album out, and then you write some more songs, put it on an album. And now it seems to me like the record company probably has some kind of say, like, we need more hits, so we need a little more of this, and they're probably more selective as to what they want you to put out as a band than in the old days.
It depends on the type of group. If you're a single-orientated band, absolutely. If you're.
But how many album-oriented bands are there out there now?
Kiss was always we always made more money at live performances, and we really weren't a single-orientated band until Rock and Roll Night, and Beth and stuff like that started happening.
It was all about the live show. That's for sure.
Yeah, well, I think that's why Alive, took off like a bat out of hell because it was the perfect souvenir for a Kiss concert.
Hey, why did you guys decide to take the makeup off the first time? And how scared were you?
Well, I wasn't there.
Oh, you wanted to know?
I quit the group in '82, and then the guys decided to get what did they get? Vinnie Vincent.
Yeah, Vinnie Vincent.
But for a while, Vinnie had some kind of ankh on his head or something, an Egyptian thing, and then they decided to take it off. And then they had a.
Did you think looking outside that was a mistake when they were going to take the makeup off, like they were killing?
No, well,
a
I
major
took
hook?
my makeup off and started, the Frehley's Comet, and that did well. I had a gold album, the first out of the box, but also, after I had left Kiss, it wasn't with complete creative control and freedom, it wasn't, the ideal situation either because everything was on me. When I was in Kiss, I could lean on those other guys because they were workaholics. And then I realized, wow, it's up to me. If this record sucks, it's because they're going to say it sucks. So, it wasn't the dream that I had imagined while I was still in the band, but
you're like, I don't got to wear that stupid makeup.
Well, the makeup became a real drag. I mean, imagine having a hangover and then getting a phone call at 8 o'clock in the morning and say, you got to go to a radio station promotion and you got it in full costume, Ugh.
Yeah,
Where I hang. I mean,
it's not
that
even for a show. It's
It
like,
was a nightmare.
did you half-ass it sometimes? Just fucking like, fuck it.
You know,
Just one star.
I was coming up with all kind of crazy ideas. I said, could we get stencils or something? Could we just spray this shit on? And, you know, it was just like, God, I got to do this again. You know, I talk about it in the book where I'm doing the film. You know, I'd show up on set while we were doing Kiss Meets the Phantom of the Park. And, you know, I'd get into my trailer, get into makeup, and, you know, the director would say, hey, we're going to do close-ups on Gene today. We don't need you till 1 o'clock. You know, and I'd flip out, you know.
Sit there in your fucking makeup.
But then you took off and fucking went to a King Tut exhibit and then came back and apologized.
That was the most bizarre thing. I was like all bent out of shape because it had happened more than once. And I lost my temper with the producer and director. I took off, lost my bodyguards, you know, zigzagging through traffic. And then I just said, I ended up at the La Brea Tar Pits and there's a museum there. And I've always been fascinated with Egyptian culture, you know, the pyramids, the whole 9 yards. And I'm standing outside going, wow, this would have been a great thing to see. And some broad just comes up to me and hands me a ticket. You go, you need a ticket? You look like you need a ticket. I said, yeah. I go, how much? He goes, oh, you can have it. It was insane. You know, most of my life seems like a dream. It's a fantasy.
I bet.
It's just weird stuff that just when I read it, I read it cover to cover when I got the final version. And I said, wow, what a great movie.
Yeah. Who would you want to play you?
Play me? I don't know. Probably somebody who looks a little like me.
Yeah, I guess that would help.
We have to find some guy. We'll have to find. Maybe we can get Scorsese to do it, huh?
The book is called No Regrets too, and it's fantastic. I just wish I had finished it. I'm like 30 pages short. I'm a
What do you think of the
twat.
pictures?
They were great.
Yeah,
They were really great.
A lot of them nobody's seen.
I like a lot of the young photos. You're a handsome guy, and I like some of the fucking outfits that you had on in the 70s. And two things too. I want to say, you said you and Gene were roommates at one point, and that you think Paul was happy that he was with you, and that you said he was disgusting. You said Gene Simmons in the hotels was disgusting as a roommate.
Dirty.
Like, why was he dirty? I'm surprised to read that.
Why?
Like what did he do that
I
was
don't know.
dirty?
You gotta ask him. You know. I mean, Shannon's nickname for Gene used to be Stinky.
Would he really spit on the floor though? You said he was just hawking loogies on the floor.
Yeah. Well, you know why?
On his own floor.
You know why? Because whenever he breathed fire, he'd be drinking kerosene, and a lot of times he would swallow some of it. So he's constantly trying to. After a show, he's coughing it up. You know.
Spitting down on the crabs.
You're in a Holiday Inn. You know, I'm jumping over crabs and
to that, to burn the
blobs
crabs.
of this and that, and you know, it was all in good fun.
Where's
Yeah, when he burned his pubes off, is that what he did?
yeah, he would just spit the fire on the.
Gene's hair went on fire a couple of times.
Did you laugh or were you worried?
No, I was worried.
Okay.
I was, you know.
Did you laugh
worried.
afterwards, though?
Well, you know, after we knew it was okay, we thought it was hysterical.
Of course.
You know, Sean Delaney attacks him with a towel, you know, and ends up rubbing off half his makeup.
Who was Sean Delaney?
Sean Delaney was our tour manager in the early days. And he was responsible for a lot of the choreography in the beginning. You know, he worked with us, you know, with our moves, you know. The classic Kiss moves that you see. A lot of them were Sean Delaney's ideas.
Okay, you wouldn't have thought to do that. He said, why don't you guys walk up at the end of the song and all do this or do that?
What's the
Sean was very instrumental with that.
What's the best band that ever opened up for you? Were you actually standing, even at the height of yours, going, "Oh my God"?
Best band. I don't know. You know, we've had some. We've had Rush open for us. We've had
Back in the day, they were like unknown.
Bob Seger. Well, they were known, but you know, it seemed like every group who opened for a Kiss tour, after that tour, they ended up headlining because they had gotten so much, exposure. Because all we were playing was arenas. Yeah, I remember after the tour, Bob Seger gave me, a gold record, and a thank you.
Oh, for giving him the shot.
You open up, look how many people you're exposed to. In those days, it wasn't MTV, it wasn't the internet. So, playing before a live audience was one of the best ways to get known.
Do you have information on your signings, too? Because I want to plug the signings before we wrap, because...
on my signings?
Yeah, do you have any...
Where's my assistant?
Yeah. Do you have info on the signings?
Yep. Yeah, 12
Who's
o'clock,
composer?
noon at Barnes & Noble on Thursday.
Noon on Thursday, Barnes & Noble, which one?
Fifth Avenue.
Fifth Avenue, which is, I think, in Union Square. I believe that's the Union Square Barnes & Noble, or no?
I'm not
I
sure.
think it's the one here.
Where here?
Like on
You're not sure.
48.
On 48th Street?
44th, I'm hearing.
44th? Is there a website that they can go to?
Yeah, go to acefrehley.com.
acefrehley.com, and it's Frehley. I fucking have not been able to spell your name for 30 years.
German. Frehley.
I always spell it wrong.
A lot of people
Everyone
pronounce
says it
Frehley,
wrong.
but it's
Yeah.
Frehley.
I would have
Ace
said.
Frehley freely admits that Frehley is the proper
Oh,
pronunciation.
it is Frehley?
Frehley, yeah.
That's so odd because no one is going to say Frehley.
No one has ever
Everyone
said
says
Frehley.
Frehley.
Listen to the live record. Paul
Yeah.
Stanley goes, Ace Frehley, lead guitar.
I probably think he's saying it wrong. Like everybody.
Oh, did he say it
Why did
right?
he say it like that?
Pretty much.
Oh, fuck. I didn't know that.
Frehley.
Ace Frehley.
Are you going to change your pronunciation, Jim?
No.
I'm just
told
happy
you.
you say my name.
Yeah.
You can mispronounce it, you know. It works.
Well, the book is great. Go to acefrehley.com.
What?
See, I just fucking
They
fast.
did.
I just changed.
Nice. That sounded good.
Yeah. And get information on the signings, because I'm sure the signings will be mobbed. And it's genuinely a great book, man. And I learned a lot about. I thought I knew everything about Kiss because I've been a fan since I was just a boy.
Somebody was saying to me the other night, man, you've been in a lot of fights. They said to me, and I go, hey, you know, I'm from the Bronx. You know, I'm a tourist. You know, give me a stage where this bull can rage.
If you
How much? How's that go?
give me a
much-
stage where this bull here can rage, although I could fight.
Although I can fight, I much rather recite. That's entertainment. What are you gonna do?
How great is it? Just doing raging bull lines with Ace. There really is nothing better than that.
Yeah.
We should just hang out and do them all day.
I've
that's just
never
my
hung
fantasy.
out with De Niro. There's one guy I've always wanted to hang out with.
Have you met him?
Maybe. I met so many people in those Studio 54 years. It's just like a lot of it's a blur. I'm dancing with Lindsay Wagner. I'm hanging out with John Belushi. You know, the Stones, Alice Cooper.
So how many times does that happen to you when somebody just comes up to you like, hey, and you got to be like, hey, I don't remember you.
I have no clue.
I'm good at that.
Yeah.
You know,
What
not
is your-
remembering people's names. I go, "How you been, man? Long time no see. What are you up to?" You know, I don't know who it is.
Yeah.
But you know,
there you go.
over the years you get good at that.
All the fans, that's all you got to do. Just walk up to Ace, act like you met him before, actually shoot the shit with him.
Hang out and talk to you.
Yeah, dude, you invited me to your house. All right, let's go.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I finally got time in my schedule. All right, man.
I said, give me a call.
Yeah.
Give me a call.
Did you really remember my shit cake?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I remember being here and
That'll make Jimmy very
had a
happy.
video camera going and
Yeah.
were you licking it or sitting in it or something? You were doing
I ate the
something-
log.
You were doing something obscene with it, weren't you?
Yeah, there was a little shit log, and I felt obligated to eat it out of respect
You
for
know,
the chef.
all these years later, now it makes sense. Frehley's Comet. See, Frehley's Comet doesn't make sense. Frehley's Comet sounds like Haley's Comet.
Yeah, I guess
You got it.
Holy shit.
I never noticed it.
And you know what I was
I
thinking of
always
the other
thought
day. Go ahead.
even Frehley's Comet I thought was a great name
I
for
did
a
too.
band.
Yeah, I know, I did too, but it
Frehley's
didn't make any
Comet works.
sense.
Yeah.
Frehley's
Just like
Comet,
that.
Haley's Comet, you know, then you at the same time you have Frampton's Camel, you got Richie Blackmore's Rainbow, you know, it was the 80s.
Yeah, but we didn't
had
say
comets, rainbows,
Blakemore.
and camels running around.
But, Ace, is that why you came up with the name? Was it like Haley's Comet, Frehley's
Well,
Comet?
you know,
or?
I was a spaceman, and I thought it really fit. You know, I was actually somebody came up, showed me a picture, an actual great photograph of Haley's Comet, and it was the first album cover, if you remember correctly.
Frehley's Comet. Wow.
I never would. Frehley's comment to me was fine. I never
How
would have
many
connected
years?
it.
And he finally.
I just thought it meant
it's like
Comet.
revelation.
All the pieces in the puzzle finally
Yeah,
fit.
finally.
I thought it was Comet just because he was blazing up and down the fretboard.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right, right.
No, I knew it was a play on Haley's Comet. But
No,
I
you
just-
didn't.
I,
No, you
of course
didn't.
I did. I know a lot about space.
He's yelling.
It was supposed to be called Ace's Asteroid, and he said, "Fuck that." Am I correct? No.
You know, I like that.
Thursday at
Ace's
noon.
Asteroid.
Let me plug your signing. Thursday at noon, Barnes & Noble, 555 Fifth Avenue. And it's called No Regrets. And also Friday at Bookends in Ridgewood, New Jersey, 6 p.m. Some of you went to see Iommi a couple nights ago. Go Friday for Ace at 6 o'clock. It's an amazing independent bookstore in Ridgewood, New Jersey. And, you get to get the book signed and meet him. And don't expect a long conversation. There's going to be a big fucking line. But definitely go and buy the book and get it signed.
Just act like you've met him before. You'll get a hug.
Yeah. Ace, you said I didn't have to pay for that. All right, take it.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you, man, very much.
Thank you,
so
Ace.
much. It was a pleasure.
Jimmy, you need to promote Stress Factory this weekend? You
Stress
good?
tonight, tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, I'm at the Stress Factory, and Antisocial tickets with myself, Stanhope, Artie Lang, and David Tell. Pre-sale is now. ComcastTix.com, ComcastTix.com, and password antisocial.
Nice. And Bill,
Dude, that's
thank
a
you.
sick show.
That's a good
Yeah,
lineup,
it's very
huh?
dark.
That is a
These books to
sick
you
show.
guys.
You got to go see that.
All right, Bill, you got anything? You good?
I'm coming back to do Carnegie on the 11th,
know,
so
I
I'll be
can't
here
fucking
on,
wait.
on the 10th.
All right,
I'll be on the
good.
10th. Come in and I'll say hello to you fucking animals.
Sounds good.
All right, guys.
See you
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Bill.
Thank you, Ace.
I know you say that we're some sick motherfuckers. Cause we're as cold as the ice road truckers. And when we come to your town, the shit goes down. We're sick, sick fucking puppies. The sick fucking puppies. We're sick fucking puppies. The sick fucking puppies. We're sick fucking puppies. The sick fucking puppies. The sick fucking puppies. The sick fucking puppies. Bark it up, you old tree.
Hey, why would it work? Dun, 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 dun. I'm gonna kick that thing. Why I?